like to call the meeting to order, please. We're going to salute the flag.
Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd just like to make a brief announcement. Today,
I want to make a quick announcement. Today, I have submitted my letter of resignation to the board as the moderator for Mashpee Men's Club. My wife Marcia and I are moving off Cape Cod on October 2nd, and we're going to be 125 miles away. This is a very drastic way to get out of being a moderator to Mashpee Men's Club. Sell your house and move 125 miles away, but that's what we're doing. So in the meantime, Berkeley will be serving, good old Berkeley, he's our secretary. He's been a glue of our club for years, keeping us together. He'll serve as pro tem moderator / secretary at double his current salary. So he makes out very well in this whole move. I've been a member of Mashpee Men's Club for about 20 years now in various capacities. It's been a pleasure. Believe it or not, I really hate leaving this group. I swear, we don't have a minister. A new minister here? The Mashpee Congregation minister, he's not here. A new minister, is he here?
No, he's not, no.
Oh.
He's at a...
Oh, excuse me. Okay, I thought he was coming. Sorry. I was going to have him bless us, but okay. Consider yourself blessed.
He'll be here next month.
Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to go to the Treasurer's report. Is there anything, and Harvey is not with us today, but I guess that Berkeley.
Acting.
He's acting. Okay, he's a triple header today. Okay.
I have Harvey's treasurer's report. He couldn't make it today, and we'll attach it to the minutes of the meeting. Basically, it shows revenues of $230 during August, which are the dues that were paid a little bit late but happily received. So that the balance on hand, including the cash, whatever they call it, Jiffy Fund, in case he needs it, $2,306.72. And today we've collected two dues payments and some extra cash for the increase from $20 to $25 from two fellows who paid early. So if there's no objection, do we have approval of the treasurer's report? Thank you very much.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
What do you want, Madam Secretary?
Secretary's report.
He's trying to make me feel good.
Isn't this fun? Well, let's start some of the good news. Good news is the high school has printed our brochures, which were designed by the little gal in the, well, not so little, and that's not too sexist. She's now a senior at the high school, and they're here. And so anybody who feels they can access a decent place to leave some of these brochures, please take a supply, otherwise take one or two for yourself. We'll make sure that there are nice supplies out front here, and some officer will deliver some to the grocery stores and any place else we can, the library and so forth, that we can put a little stack of them. I think they're good fun. So that's nice. Now, on that score, this is the third time that Mike Looney and his class have done the printing job on a brochure. This one was smart enough, the committee led by, what the heck was his name? No longer here. I'm thinking of Dow Davis. It was done without reference to dates, so this printing, which is substantial, should last us for several years. The other thing is that I think it would be appropriate if we made a gift to the high school of something in the nature of $100 for the benefit of Mike Looney's department. I think it would be.
Would someone be willing to make a motion, please?
Is
Second.
there-
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. I think that's a good thing to do. A brief report on membership. Again, we don't have a huge outpouring of our members for the meeting, but we do have a very select group, and that's good. The records are a little confused between, I don't know, something happened to this. The records are confused
You just gotta look closer.
between the treasurer who departed for someplace north back in the middle of the year, and Harvey who took over and tried to reconcile it when there was no computer reckoning. He has transferred everything to Excel so that the treasurer's job should be much easier, and we need a new treasurer because Harvey has felt that he must not continue in that position.
That mic dropped out again.
Mic is off.
Mic is off.
Is there a switch near his hand?
Hello?
Turn it off, turn it on,
No,
reboot.
no, I'll just try to speak a little louder. We need a new treasurer. The records are confused.
Hello?
We have 11
Yeah.
from the roster as of July who are likely to come through with dues payments. 10 who we know are, one died, several have moved away. It leaves 54 members active with dues paid. And we'll go forward from there, and I'll get a new roster out tomorrow or the next day. The brochures are ready, I sped through that. The meeting of October 3 is one of the ones not to be missed. That's when Marty Sandler comes and entertains us for the better part of an hour. Then we have Joe Yuckner, and Bill will talk about that. And the high fives are December 5. I've had confirmation from speaking with Marty that he's all set to go, and from Patty DeBoer, the superintendent of schools, that the high school is looking forward to the high fives meeting on December 5. So the issue that I'm presenting are women to be invited. It has to be approved by a prior meeting of the men's club. Do we want to take them as
Someone
a
make a
group?
motion to approve women
This is for what meeting?
Those 3
for
meetings.
the 3 meetings.
Yes, I'll make that
Thank
motion.
you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed, dare raise your hand? Okay,
Well,
unanimous.
the vast executive committee will consider the question again. We are a men's club, of course, rather than a social club, but certainly for the high fives. And Marty likes to have the ladies present, so there you are. We need to appoint a couple of people who have volunteers as the charity committee to work so that in October, we can approve our annual grants to local charities. Is there anyone here who is willing to accept that job? We tend to continue the list we have so long as they say thank you to us, and all the ones last year did that. And then we have one, and the largest gift is to the outreach program here at the senior center, $500 worth of $50 gift cards to Stop and Shop that they can use for needy members of the senior center. Is there somebody who would run that project for us?
Don't everybody raise their hand?
All right, well, we'll think about that. And then I would just close by saying that we have confirmation for the holiday luncheon with the high fives after the December 5 meeting, again at Bucatino's restaurant, which was well received last year, and they're pretty good to us, so that is done. And the high school, as I think I said before, said the high five program is on course, and we'll be here, the kids will be here December 5th. So that's the end of my.
How about Shelley? Just remember.
No, I'm sorry, I got a different place. Yeah, sadly, a former member, Shelley Gilbert, died a week or two ago. And Bob Clever sent us notice, and I think I sent it around. Everybody who has a computer would have gotten that, except Bill Winters, who has a new address. Didn't get anything from me. But anyway, Shelley was a bright light member of this group. If somebody needed a volunteer for something that was a one-time type of job, his hand would go up and he'd laugh and giggle and take it on and do it very well. So we want to keep Shelley's memory in our memory. And then the last thing is, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the August meeting, which were sent out with the August newsletter.
So moved.
So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Unanimous?
Thank you very much.
I also want to take this opportunity to turn over to our treasurer, secretary, and moderator the mallet to keep things in order. This trustworthy mallet, I didn't dare take that to New Hampshire with me. So I'm here to serve you, and do good care. Next, we're going to turn to our program and trips person, Bill. And Bill has done an outstanding job in this position. He's gone out, got some beautiful trips going there, got some great speakers coming. So he's done a lot to rejuvenate the club, so keep up the good work. Bill.
We'll try the best we can. So last month, we had two trips. They were both on the Cape Cod Railroad. One went over the canal. That was a lot of fun to go over that bridge. And then we had a luncheon train also. And one thing that struck me was how green everything was. It was like we were in the Amazon jungle on both of those trips. And so I just wanted to mention that a little bit later in the season, when we start to have the fall colors changing, it might be a lot of fun to go on either one of those train trips. So keep that in mind. Now, a week from tomorrow, we have our next trip, which is going to be down at the Woods Hole Oceanographic. And that's going to be on Wednesday the 20th. We're going to meet here at 9:30, and we want to be down in Hui at 10:15. As you know, parking is a little bit of a problem down there, so try to carpool here. Bring a bunch of quarters for the meters down there, or I believe they take a credit card also if technology is working properly. That should be a lot of fun. Jim Sarek is organizing that, so we can thank him for putting that together. We're going to turn it over to him, and he's going to say a few words about that particular tour. And we're going to send around a sign-up sheet for anybody that is interested. Put your name and contact information on here, and then we'll know how many people to tell them are going to show up. And also, we're planning on having lunch at the landfall down there also, so that's always a lot of fun. So, Kurt, were you going to go to that, do you think? Did you want to sign?
I'm going to be out of town.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Go pass that to,
All right.
ask Al to start that. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't have my calendar.
I'll give the mic to Jim. He can tell us what's going to be going on.
Okay, I am a long-term contractor, retired from Hui. I've been working with Hui for over 60 years.
Wow.
And I was involved with electronic precise equipment that goes back to the first generation of the Alvin. We're now in the 5th generation, and I have had the pleasure of meeting world-renowned scientists there, and I can tell you the tour guide that I wasn't, but the director of the center was able to get was not only my mentor, he worked at Hui for many decades, and when he retired, he just couldn't let go, so he became the head volunteer on tours. And I'm happy to say that he accepted the tour next week. So you're in, those of you who will participate are in for a pleasure, because he knows more about Hui than, in explaining it, than anybody else that I can think of. So hopefully, we'll see you all down there. I myself, because I had a fall on, I used to do tour guides July and August, the busiest time, and eventually got my wife involved in that. And on the last tour that we gave, I had an unexpected accident, and I tripped over a growth while talking to one of the visitors in the group, and hit my head on the cement. And my surgeon said, you are less than 2% of the people survive what you went through.
Wow.
So I'm very lucky to be here to be able to talk to you about it. But you're in for a real pleasure. If you may have driven by there many times, but finding out what Hui does, it's the world's largest undersea exploration facility now, has been for many years. And so hopefully we will see you all, and that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the pen.
Oh. No, Leo already signed.
Next person?
Okay, thank you, Jim, for that explanation and also for putting that tour together.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have a big turnout going down there. We'll have a lot of fun on that.
In good weather.
And good weather. We have to put that, we already put an order in for that.
Okay.
Who should, members who are not here, who should they call if they want to announce? You or Jim?
Yeah.
Call me.
Is that gonna be sent out through the system on email?
Yes, we'll be sending out an email
Yeah, good.
on that, just
Yeah,
to
I
let
can't-
people know that I'm
I
here.
can't commit today, but I'm very interested in what I've heard. So if there's a way to remind us to
Right.
sign up, please send it out, okay?
It'll
Right.
be- I'll put it in the newsletter.
Perfect.
which will be
Yeah,
out
please.
in
Yeah, that'd be
hopefully
great.
by the end of the
Bill, do
week
we
or
respond to
next
you?
week.
What day of the week is September 20th?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so we probably need a head count by Monday so that we can let the landfall know. Or maybe by the weekend, because I don't know if they're closed on Monday. So we should get a head count to the landfall. So maybe if you could just send out a quick email, Burke, just on that.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I'm changing my emails and also changing my computers at the same time, and so things are kind of a nightmare on the technological side at my house right at the moment. So that would be good to get a head count, maybe on it by Friday, I would tend to think, so we can let the landfall know.
Who do we contact if we decide to go?
B.
Bill?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good.
that'll be in the, that'll be on,
Well, I'll do a separate message. 'cause
Perfect.
excellent,
Great.
thank
You
you,
won't get the newsletter in
Yes.
time to,
great.
for them to.
Great.
Yeah, the wives are welcome. Are the wives welcome? Do they
Yes.
participate?
Yes. You want to do that?
We just approved that, I thought.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just confirming.
We didn't do it, we just.
Oh, you did, oh, trip, excuse me, okay.
Okay, not for the job, yeah, okay, that's okay, I'm just asking.
I think it'd be nice to include that.
Well, due to OSHA safety regulations, the size of the group is limited. You can't just bring like 50 people,
I see.
because we go out on a pier
Okay.
and
Do you know what
that's-
the limit is, Jim? Do you know what the limit is?
typically around 20.
Okay, that would, I would think that would.
No, it would be
Yeah.
just the guys then, really.
Right.
Okay, so we have with us today Captain Thomas Rose of the Mashpee Police Department. So thank you so much for coming over. Captain Rose has been 24 years in the law enforcement field. He started his career with the Barnstable County Sheriff's Department, where he was assigned to the Cape Cod Drug Task Force. He worked as an undercover officer and participated in over 100 narcotic investigations in southeastern Massachusetts, to include Cape Cod and the islands. Certainly an exciting job. He received an award from the New England Narcotic Enforcement Officers Association for his outstanding contribution and dedication and service through the field of narcotic enforcement. He was hired by the Mashpee Police Department in 2001. He served as a patrolman working the midnight shift. He received numerous awards while in patrol, to include the MAD Award for leading the agency in drunk driving arrests, and he also received the Chief of Police Commendation Award while in patrol for his work and dedication into narcotics and investigations. He was promoted to sergeant in 2005, where he supervised for over 11 years. While in this capacity, he supervised the field training program and was a member of the department's special response team. Those are the guys that you see on TV all the time. He attended and completed first-line supervisor course at Roger Williams University. He was then promoted to lieutenant in 2016, where he was in charge of patrol operations. In 2018, he was promoted to the rank of captain, or the executive officer. In this capacity, he serves directly under the chief of police and helps lead and manage the police department. He is currently the acting chief of police. He has been in a command leadership position within the Mashpee Police Department for over 7 years and holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Southern New Hampshire University. So, Captain Rose, thank you so much for wearing the uniform, keeping us safe, and everything else you do here in town. Everybody, please help me welcome Captain Rose.
I can probably talk loud enough where everybody can hear me. I want to first off thank each and every one of you for being here today and inviting me to your group. As he kind of laid out my career, I've been...
Excuse me, if anytime you can't hear, raise your hand and he'll up the volume. Thank you.
24 years, so I've been around for a little while. I'm going to talk to you today about our department, basically what we're about, rank structure, some awards we've recently gotten, and some of the things that we do in the community that we care so deeply about. So full strength, we're just under 40 people, 40 sworn officers, chief, captain, there's 2 lieutenants. That makes up what's called the command structure of the department. It's kind of the management arm of the department. And then there's patrol operations, that's the guys you see on the street, and then a detective bureau that investigates more serious crimes. And then we have about 7 dispatchers that field the calls that come in, and we got probably another 5 or 6 civilian support staff, secretarial type personnel. So all in all, we're about 50 people running the department. Just got some pictures here of some of our cruisers. We got a few years back, Air Force One was at the base, so we made some calls and they allowed us to put some cars out in front and we got a nice photo from Air Force One. Not bad, right? Here's some more photos. That's our K-9 officer, Brian DeRocha, Sergeant, he's a lieutenant now, Ryan Nardone, and another detective, Brett Calhoun. Here's a picture of the PD that you guys pass, coming here each day. Basically what I just talked about. So the chief of police is Chief Carline. He's out on medical leave. He's been out since March. So in his absence, I'm acting as the acting chief. Lieutenant Nass, he oversees operations, patrol operations, and Lieutenant Nardoni, administrative services. Now look, it's kind of grainy, but got a cool picture with the sun setting in the background.
That's fireworks.
Is it fireworks? I think it's the sun. No, it's fireworks. Is it fireworks? You got better eyes than I do. In 2022, we became an accredited agency, and what that basically, in a gist, is that we have the most up-to-date professional standards in the industry, and not many police agencies are accredited in the state. I think there's 3 or 4 on Cape Cod. We're one of them. So that happened in 2022. It's a long process to get accredited. You've got to ensure that your policies and procedures are up to the most current professional standards in the industry countrywide. So we
Does that come from the feds, or is that
that's
from the
state? But it's big picture. It's the whole country kind of. Each state has their own accreditation. So that's through Massachusetts. That's the chief. That's the records clerk. She's since retired. That's Lieutenant Nass receiving this accreditation award in 2022. Also in 2021, we got the Community Policing Award for the state. Came in first place with towns of a population of 15 to 30,000 people. That's #1 in the state for the numerous things that we do throughout the year with engaging in the community. We're pretty proud of that. We hold a number of events because obviously we love the community and we want to make sure that we have a great relationship with all members of the town of Mashpee. Each year we have a National Night Out event in August. We just had one this past month. It's a way for us to connect with the community, especially the young kids come out. They got bouncy houses, dunk tanks, all kinds of fun stuff for kids and everybody. But it's a great event. It's a kind of a national thing. A lot of police departments do, and we've been doing it for some time now.
Is that when the K-9 officer gets the dog to chew?
Yeah, they do demonstrations, all kinds of things like that. It's really a great night. Again, community policing, that's this philosophy of, getting out into the public and interacting with people and kind of seeing the lighter side of police officers with human beings just like each and every one of you. So, myself included, no one likes getting stopped by the police. Oh man, I'm going to get a ticket. I get it, and we get it.
I don't want to see a policeman, and that's really neat.
Exactly, exactly. So this kind of is a branch off of the community policing model where you get out and we do good things within the public. That's yours truly. That's the chief. Every year we do donations for the holidays, and for our town departments, we always come in #1. I'm proud to say, donating the most items for the needy. We have a children's police academy every summer where kids come in. It's like 8 weeks. They go through like a junior police academy. It's great for the kids. They kind of get to see different aspects of what we do, and we build connections.
What's the age of those kids, please?
They can be any age. I think as young as 5 to 12, I believe the ages are. That's great.
Quite a range, yes.
The officers really love this junior police academy. They do a great job with it. Throughout the year, we read to kids, storybooks, things like that. It's great with children. Officer Cope. Every year we do a 911 memorial ceremony. We just did one yesterday out front. I'm not sure if anybody was able to attend. Tragic day in our country's history, so we can't forget. So every year we do that right out here. If you guys are ever around and want to stop in, we'd love to have you. Seaside Le Mans, these are some of our officers. They just had it last Saturday, the little go-kart race in the Mashpee Commons. Proud to say we've won 3 years in a row. So they're real, these trophies, I have them upstairs, right outside my office. So we're stacking them up.
No tickets either.
Really wild.
No tickets, yeah. You can drive as fast as those things go, right? This is us participating in a parade right before Christmas. In 2021, we were the first agency on Cape Cod to break out body cameras, kind of, you know, see what's going on. I oversee the body cams from an administrative standpoint, so see some crazy stuff from, you know, it's all on camera. So we love them, and truth be told, at first a lot of the officers were, you know, not crazy about it, but now they love them. Kind of get a perspective.
Protects them too, doesn't it?
100%, 100%. So they've really done well for us. So patrol division, basically this is the officer's office. They do their reports and everything inside the cars. Obviously this computer, they run plates, you name it. They do everything. They don't even have to come into the station. They clear a call. You might see a police officer on the side of the road. Sometimes he's running radar. Sometimes he's doing his reports. There's one of our cars out on patrol, monitoring traffic. Some of the things we have ATVs, we have a bike unit, obviously a canine, and obviously a patrol car. That's, we took this photo a few years back for our department's Facebook page.
Do you have electric bikes?
We do. We got 2 of them. Okay. They're great. These guys don't even have to pedal anymore, you know? Push a button. They've come a long way. Our detective division is comprised of a detective, sergeant, a court prosecutor. The court prosecutor basically takes all our arrest folders and things to court and does all our paperwork through the court. We got 3 investigative detectives. Those are the detectives that get assigned major cases. And then we got a drug detective that's assigned to the DEA task force. So that's the detective unit. Recently, does anybody know who that is?
Bobby Orr.
You got it. He stopped in to say hi in the detective bureau. He's a great guy. Dispatch, this is a dispatcher of the year last year, Barry Good. He's been with us, he's been there longer than me, 25 years. He's been around for a while, he's fantastic. That's our dispatch center. That's where all the calls come into. She's on the phone now, fielding the call in that picture. Carla Newbury, every holiday around Christmas, she puts these snowflakes all throughout our lobby, and each one of them is the name of a police officer that was killed during the past year. It's amazing what she does every year.
Across the country?
Yes, she does that every year. You'll see those snowflakes if you drive by in the in the lobby, and that's what it is. Everyone has a name of a police officer killed in the line of duty. Got an honor guard. It's members of the honor guard here. Serve at different functions and ceremonies throughout the year, funerals, parades. So these guys take great pride and represent the PD very well. You know who that is? That's me.
Look at him, right, well hidden.
ATVs.
Well disguised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of our ATVs. We have 2 ATVs. Primarily, you'll see them out and about, mostly in the summertime. During the winter, it's kind of tough, but there's been times where we can't get a cruiser out into the deep wooded area. We'll send a couple ATVs out there. A bike patrol, probably people in here know, that's Sergeant Mike Assad. Does anybody know him? Because if you don't, I'm surprised. He should be the mayor of Mashpee. He knows everybody. There's a couple of bikes going through the commons. We have a school resource officer. There's a police officer assigned to the schools. Ours is Officer Katie Hennessy, and that's a comfort dog that we have, Callie.
Is that a full-time job for that officer?
Yes, full-time.
So he works with all the schools?
All the
In
schools.
Mashpee?
Correct. If anybody has any questions or whatnot, feel free.
So
Go
what
ahead.
does the school officer do? I mean, in other words, you know, she has all the schools, which would include high school, middle school, elementary.
Correct.
So, in other words, she's basically there to break up any kind of fights or whatever? going
Yeah,
on?
issues that arise in the schools, kind of to interact with the students. She does a lot of different programs with the children.
The big, you know, one of the big problems we have nationwide, of course, is shootings.
Yes.
Now, what are we doing in Mashpee to deal with at least even the possibility of a school shooting?
We're always preparing for active shooter type scenarios. Hopefully, it never happens here, but as we're all seeing, they're kind of more frequently happening around our country. So we are trained and equipped, and hopefully never the day doesn't come, but if it does, we'll be ready. We do active shooter trainings constantly. We just did a major active shooter training scenario, and we shut down 151. We did a full blow, like it was really happening 2 years ago. So we're always training to make sure the kids are safe.
If you're done with that.
Yes.
2 questions. Number 1, what's the main problem that you guys are facing in Mashpee right now? And the second one, what's the best excuse to get out of a speeding ticket?
Truth be told, to answer the second part of the second question, I've myself personally, and I can probably speak for everybody over there, if you're just polite and kind, you're not going to get a speeding ticket or any kind of ticket. If you know, it's usually the people that have attitudes. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of. Our saying is, you will dictate what happens.
You're gonna find out.
You reward attitudes.
Correct.
Can I digress for one?
Well, I'd like to get the first question answered after you.
Yeah, this has to do with speeding tickets.
Oh.
I got a call from one of my nice young clients years ago. She was in the graduate school at the University of North Carolina, and I said, yes, and she said, I need to know whether I should come up to defend a speeding ticket. And I said, what happened? She said, I've got a speeding ticket for going 75 miles an hour in a 50-mile zone. Should I come fight it or just send the money in? But she says it is, I wasn't doing that. And I said, well, what are all effects? She said, well, I had my
Cruise control.
cruise control on, and so I know I wasn't going 75. I said, well, how fast were you going? She said, I had it set for 73. Send the money in.
let's go back, please, to question
Yeah,
one or two.
question number one, right. What's the main thing you have to
I
do?
mean, there's a number of issues, so
Sure.
I, probably broadly, we have a lot of motor vehicle accidents. I think you guys see people drive crazy. A lot of drugs in town, a lot of drugs.
There's a lot of drugs in Mashpee.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
yeah, yes,
Heroin?
yes,
Heroin.
Is it fentanyl also?
yeah, fentanyl,
Wow.
heroin and fentanyl and cocaine,
All of the above.
all the above. So, listen, we're no different than anywhere else. Every town's dealing with the same stuff, but there's a lot more stuff going on than the average citizen knows, you know, so.
How do you police
But
it?
you deal with, the difference is you deal with it very well. The department does. Look what we read about other communities, what's going on, my
Yeah.
God, it makes your
Yeah.
head swim.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, listen, we take it serious, and every day, that's why we got someone assigned to the drug task force, so, we make sure that, that's a real major area of focus for us.
Thank you very much. I was afraid that was gonna be the answer.
Yeah, so, you know, unfortunately, it's the reality.
No, I understand.
So we have 3 schools in Mashpee?
Correct.
And 1 resource officer. Are there any plans to get 3 resource officers?
In
one
an ideal
school?
world,
Because how
in
do
an
you know
ideal
where
world,
you're
it would
gonna
be great,
need
but,
it? Yeah.
Let's have a budget.
I'm gonna get, yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
budget, people have to, and you know, listen, we're all dealing with our own personal budgets, and your taxes keep going up. Listen, we'd love to hire another 10 cops.
Yeah.
You know, with what we got, I mean, so I put it in perspective, we have 38. Dennis, who has less calls than us, Dennis Mass,
Yeah.
has 47.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? So, and half the calls we deal with, so, that's what, you know, we do need more personnel. We haven't hired anybody since, additionally, since 2000.
Wow.
So, we've been at 38 for 20 years, since I've been here.
What has
Also-
to happen for you to get more people?
Well,
Where
we're
does that
trying to
money-
get, we have
where
to
does
put
that
it,
money
we have
come
to,
from?
it comes from you guys.
So it's
It comes
taxes.
from you guys.
No, I understand.
You don't want your taxes to go up, because then, you know, the fire department wants more people, the schools, so we understand. Don't be fearful, like, there's not enough police officers on the street, you know, but obviously, like anything, we would like to have some more, so we could have a person in each school, you know, we don't have the resources to do it, you know, we just don't. Yeah, some examples of some recent calls over the last couple of years. An individual stabbed his mother. That's us getting him out of the house. We've had, you know, protests with Black Lives Matter at the Mashpee Rotary several years ago. It was fine, no issues. Person got killed at the pond at Mashpee Wakeby by a boat.
By what? Oh.
So it fell out of the boat, and then the propeller,
Oh, jeez.
you know, man fatally shot across from the town hall. I mean, 2 years ago, we had 3 homicides. There was 3 on the Cape, and they were all in Mashpee. So,
Wow.
you know,
you had a very good year then, a very good
yeah.
year. Yeah.
And like, as statistic goes, for capita, it was one of the worst in the country,
Yeah.
Mashpee, you know,
Really?
for the size.
Homicides?
Yeah,
Homicides.
homicides.
Were they drug related?
A couple of them, yes, domestics. We go to a lot of accidents. Here's another one, a person was critically injured and ejected in a rollover crash. Met flights for people in accidents. Missing children. So our dog, Bodie, it's a search and rescue dog too, so it's a fantastic resource for us if someone's missing. It happens, you know, quite frequently. Other towns call looking for our dog. Falmouth recently did, so we lend help to our neighbors as well. We deal with, you know, some guy cut himself with a chainsaw. So you see these, you know, sirens, you hear them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the average day that, you know, most people don't realize, so.
Why were you
It's-
called on the chainsaw and not the rescue?
Well, we go too. We usually typically beat them because we're out on patrol. We beat them to the calls, and in the cruisers, we got all the medical bags, everything, AEDs, so typically we'll get to a call before them because they're leaving here,
Sure.
you know, so.
Every cruiser has one of those defibs?
Yes, yep,
That's great.
yep.
You go to all 911 calls?
Most 911, most, not all. It depends the nature of it. Sometimes the calls go right to the fire department, but they'll call us,
Okay.
you know, if it's something that they think we should be at. So not all, but a lot of them. This canine officer, Brian DeRocher, and that's the dog Bodie. It's a drug dog, plus it's cross-trained into search and rescue too, so, does tracks, dog's unbelievable. Not the most friendly dog. I can attest. So, this dog, how it eats is by finding drugs. So he has to like hide stuff in the station so the dog, that's how the dog gets rewarded, by finding things. And he will, occasionally, you'll hear that dog roaming the station. And I gotta, hey, put that thing, I'll admit it, I'm afraid of dogs, so that dog is not friendly.
Carry a right pocket dog business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This dog was friendly, this was our dog that we had prior to Bodie. Very friendly dog.
Yeah.
Night and day from what we have now.
Gary treats, Gary
Just say sick and
treats.
he goes, huh?
Yeah. There's another crash. Here's some money we seized in a drug arrest.
Gee.
You know, a lot of money. One good thing about this, so we have to share it with the DA's office, but usually these seizures go into a drug account, so we get things at the station like TVs and stuff, we can put it to use for surveillance
You
equipment.
get a cut of that stack, someone came
Yeah.
back to you.
The DA's office takes half right off the top. They're like the government, you know what I mean?
IRS, yeah.
We do all the work, they take half. That's some pills we seize. As you see, there's a lot of pills there. You know? There's another arrest. The guy had all kinds of weapons, swords, different things. Here's that shooting again. Yeah, the son killed his mom. That's the chief giving a press conference regarding that homicide. That's us getting the award in 2021 for the community policing. You know, another thing we get, you know, a pedestrian got struck and killed.
There's no-
Rollover tractor trailer. So, a lot of accidents. I'm gonna give you some numbers here. So, just to put things in perspective, this is from January 1st and I stopped at September 1st, so 8 months, 25,500 calls for service.
Wow.
We average between 35,000 and 40,000 calls for service a year. So it's about 3,000 to 4,000, 3,000 to 3,500 a month calls for service.
So how many is that a day then?
100.
Hundreds,
100, you get
hundreds.
100 calls a day?
420 arrests, 2,562 motor vehicle stops, and over 13,000 directed patrols, which is basically us going through neighborhoods and things like that. So to say that this is a busy town is an understatement. It really is. I've said it, and I don't think people realize how busy of a town this is. It's situated between Barnstable and Falmouth. It's, you know, non-stop traffic. It's busy. We got members of the department that are assigned to the Cape Cod Law Enforcement Special Response Team. These guys train constantly for, you know, real deal emergency situations. This was a shots fired at the Mashpee Village across from Southport. That's one of the SWAT guys there, you know. So when we have stuff like that, that's who we call. We had a barricaded subject in a business on Route 28. kinda was held up in the business, shot around through the roof, said if anybody comes near him, he's gonna kill them, so that's what we call these guys out for.
We have a lot of guns in Mashpee evidently.
There's some guns in Mashpee, you know,
Does the
this is our response, so when they wanna play games, we will be there. And that's basically, you know, a few of our different guys out, bike team, ATV, SWAT, honor guard. That's pretty much it, that's what I got.
Very good.
Yes.
I moved here from Boston, you know, as a retiree, and I just assume, I mean, you know, I'm out in the country here, I just assume that it's a relatively safe place. So,
Listen, it's safe,
I mean,
but-
compared to Boston,
yeah, well,
I mean, you know, the city is the city, right?
yeah.
So, I wanna know, how many burglaries do we have? I know we've had a few homicides, but that's frequently, as you
Yeah.
pointed out, a son killed his mother. I mean, you know, he's not coming after me.
Right.
So, how many burglaries do we have here? I mean, at night, when I go to bed, how, you know, how much?
It's not, no, it's not every night, you know, it's, I don't know that number off the top of my head, but it's,
You
you
do
know,
have some burglaries.
we do, yeah,
Okay.
we had one a couple of weeks ago, you know. It was a business that was closed,
You know,
but it's not
it's not too bad.
terrible, you
Yeah.
know.
Are there any groups in Mashpee that you're following, QAnon, anything of that nature?
I don't get into investigative type stuff. I will tell you, we are always got our ears open. We got Facebook accounts, and the detectives are pretty creative and, you know, have a pretty good idea of what's going on, who's doing what. Sometimes people get frustrated because investigations take some time. These things don't happen overnight, you know. It's, oh, this guy's dealing drugs next door, we can't just go knock on their door, we gotta do an investigation, and it takes some time. And it's frustrating for people, for the citizens, and it's frustrating for us, and then the court system frustrates us, you know. You do all this work, and nothing happens, you know, but we gotta keep doing our thing, and we can't control that. I always tell everybody, control what we can control. We can't control what happens. We gotta make sure our cases are airtight, that we send to court. And if the judge throws it, he throws it out, you know? We can worry about it, but we have no control over that.
Two questions. One question pertaining to 911 calls. Is it true that they go through Providence? If I pick up 911, it goes
That's
to a
not
dispatch?
true. No, that's not true.
Because I called 911, guy passed out golfing at Southport on the 5th hole. The dispatch, 911 went to Providence. I said what the condition was. What's the address? I said, I'm on the 5th hole,
Yeah.
Southport, the fire people know where it is.
Yeah.
No, we need a street address. That's-
Yeah, I haven't experienced that. It's usually, they go off, obviously, from a cell phone, it's going off a cell tower. It might first get dispatched to the state police Middleborough, but they patch it right to us. It's like a second.
Middleborough, oh, okay.
That's, but most times the cell tower will hit right here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it'll come in through us. Yes,
In the
sir.
past few summers, there's been a situation where teenagers and young adults have swarmed the beaches in Pompanesett, New Sedbury area, committing usually just some nuisance
Yep.
acts. Where do they come from?
A lot of them people come from, the kids come from the Airbnb rentals in that area. You know, everyone thinks it's from outside. It's a lot of these kids that their parents are renting these places, and the parents are sleeping at 1 in the morning, and the kids are out running the streets, you know? Well,
Would there be an
Pompanesett.
agreement with the neighborhood that you wouldn't arrest children who are carrying?
There would be no agreement like
No
that.
agreement.
No. No. That's a case by case. Truth be told, we're not looking to arrest kids left and right,
Right.
you know, give them a criminal record, you know, for stuff probably a lot of us did as kids, you know what I mean? However, we do address those issues, you know, but it is, and it's happening everywhere. You saw what they did in Dennis this summer. They had to close the beach for a couple days, right? So it's happening more and more now with social media. they put stuff out, hey, let's meet here at Pompanesett Friday night, you know, and that's what's happening.
Or you have a party at your house and 200 people show up.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yes, sir.
Little off this line, how many of the officers live in Mashpee?
I would say about half.
About half, and
Yes.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
The interaction with the kids in the summer program and so on is so important, that when they live next door in
Yeah.
the neighborhood, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting because the cost is so high.
I have two questions for you. The first is, you talked about having a kids' police academy. Do you have one for adults also? Because I took one in Falmouth, which
Yeah.
is where I live. It was fabulous.
Citizens
It
of
was
Police
great.
Academy,
I think it's called
the last one we had was last fall. We're due to have another one, soon. You know, it's a lot of stuff that gets put into that, you know, so, we do those usually one a year at least. So there should be one coming up soon.
And then the other question I had was, you had mentioned that sometimes dealing with the court system is a little frustrating.
Yes.
Because you do all this work and then they toss it out.
Stronger
Is there any way to hold the judges and the DAs more accountable? Would that involve the citizen
I
saying,
think that,
hey,
yeah.
you know, keep.
Well, the DAs,
keep us safer.
you know, the people vote for that, you know?
Right.
The judges,
That's a
I don't
tough
know,
one.
the oversight of the judges, I don't know.
That
so
goes all the
much.
way up to the top.
Yeah, I think that's a
I
little
meant the
more
top of the
difficult.
country.
Yeah.
If you could add to your department, where would you add?
Patrol, the officers out on the street going to the calls. So just to put things in perspective, we have 4 officer minimum, so it's only 4 cars on the road typically. That fluctuates from 4 to 6, maybe 7 if we got some extra manning, but for the most part, it's a sergeant and three patrolmen. Now, you got an accident, that's, the shift's tied up, you know, so, you know, we run, you know, you run short. And I think that's, sometimes people think, you know, we got 20 cars, and that's not the case, you know, we got 4 cars, you know, so, it's a lot to run a PD in this day and age, where more and more is asked of us, so, you know, we'll be trying to get some more people. And right now, I've never seen anything like it in this profession. Not many people want to do it. When I took the test for Mashpee, there was probably 400 people there. I remember being there, like, I'm not gonna get this job, you know, there's 400 people here. And now, we just posted it, we got 20, you know, things have changed big time. So, I think it's a lot of the negative
It's
sentiment
getting
over the
crazy, yeah,
years.
it's
Yeah,
crazy
you know,
and
so
dangerous.
these guys don't wanna do it, you know? You get Monday morning quarterback, you know? These guys, you're making split-second decisions out there, and then people have weeks and weeks to second-guess everything you've done, you know? So, they really do, you know?
And the problem is with cell phone cameras and
Yeah.
everything, you
Yeah.
know, people, they don't care about helping people.
Right, yeah, I
They care
know, they're
about
too busy
recording
getting it
what's
on
going
video, yeah. And a lot of times, those don't show you the whole
No.
situation of what happened or what led up to it. You get a short glimpse, you know, well, what led up to that, you know? But that's the nature of that's what we have to deal with these days.
I heard on the radio yesterday, there was what they described as a luxury bus of illegal migrants were dropped off in Yarmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have that problem here, or
No, not yet.
how do we prevent it?
The answer is you don't.
If if it's authorized, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But,
You mentioned it's hard, in other words, you investigate a case and you try to get evidence to, you know, convict somebody, but, so it's, you know, it's hard to get a conviction. I read someplace years ago in the papers, or, you know, a magazine or whatever, that 93% of the crime in this country goes unpunished. Is that, I mean, because there's so much petty crime too.
Yeah.
You know, shoplifting, people stealing wallets,
right.
you know, I'm sure you've seen it all. There's a lot of petty crime, and of course, you know, petty burglaries, et cetera, et cetera. Is it a fair statement to say that 90, you know, the vast...
I don't know about 93%, but yeah, I would say a great majority
The great
goes,
majority of crime, basically,
You know,
there's just no...
unfortunately, you know, we just worked a huge case, detectives did, and we have a detective, Michael Cook, he's unbelievable, probably one of the best around, and this ring, they were doing B&Es to cars, and basically they're going through neighborhoods and just lifting handles, and you'd be surprised how many people don't lock their cars. And if I can emphasize anything to you guys, lock your cars. You'd be surprised who's walking through your neighborhoods when you're, sound asleep, just lifting handles,
Lifting what?
Handles of the car, the door handles.
Opening the door.
They're unlocked and then they're going through your car. But this guy was not only going through cars, he was going into houses. And,
People
Was
leave
he
their
trying to
keys
steal
in the
cars?
car.
What's that?
Stealing cars?
No, he was just trying to steal anything in the cars.
Like a
Jewelry, laptop, computers. You'd be surprised what people leave in their cars. Money. So,
Guns?
Whatever.
guns potentially, but this guy was going all over the place. Dartmouth, here, Sandwich. And Detective Cook got latched onto him and does this warrant, it's called a geofence, and it tracks your cell phone where you've been, and he pieced it together. It took so much time, but the guy's in jail now, and obviously he's gonna be in jail for a long time. The amount of B&Es this guy did was, what one person was doing was unbelievable.
He was
And it
getting
took
away
some-
with a lot.
What's that?
He was getting away with it.
He was all over, and it wasn't just on the Cape, Brockton, he was just bouncing to different areas. That was his job every night.
Yeah.
1, 2 in the morning, he's coming, I'm gonna go to Mashpee. He came here several times.
How much time did he get?
It hasn't gone to, he's been arrested, he's in jail awaiting trial, that'll take some
He's
time.
in his system.
In my old town in Connecticut, the drill was, some guy was going to the parking lot at the country club, and if he found an open car, he checked the registration for the address, took the garage door opener,
Oh, sure.
and left, and they knew he had 3 hours, 4 hours for a golf round to go and get in the garage of the house and clean
This same guy
Right away.
was in one house in Pompanesett and knew where these people lived off Cape and said, they're gonna be down the Cape next week, I'm going to their house off Cape, and he did. So we had to contact that PD, because they had a B&E, and they pieced it together, that it was him. So,
Well, he was a real pro.
yes, so, but these things, like I said, take some time, that things don't happen overnight.
I live in Katuah Bay condominiums, Katuah.
Yep,
You probably know it.
exactly.
In general, these thieves are, may I assume they're probably going to single-family houses as opposed to condominiums, which are, dense? I mean, they're more likely to be seen. And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does it make a
Honestly,
difference?
they hit all over, there's no rhyme or
There's a
reason.
lot of cars dug into your place.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
discriminate.
No, they don't discriminate,
No.
so,
No.
be vigilant, call us, you see something, if you're ever up and something gets your attention, you see somebody you probably shouldn't, that's what we're here for, so.
Do we have other questions? Any more burning questions? A lot of great questions, great answers, too.
Hey, thank you again, I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate it. Enjoy your day, all right?
Right.
Keep this place safe.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get this hurricane coming, 'cause that's what I gotta go to next.
Do we have any other business that people would like to bring up before we leave?
We do.
There's some thieves out there.
We have one bit of business here. As Bruce had mentioned, he had been with the men's club for 20 years, and he has been our moderator. And so the club knows that you have other things going on, and that you're gonna be moving up to New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
So we wish you the very best of luck, but we wanted to give you something to remember us
Nice.
by.
Nice.
Now, I don't want to give you any hints at all about what is in this bag,
Okay.
but any time that you want to know the time, we want you to remember the good time that you had here with the men's club.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Could be.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. Oh, a wall clock? Yeah, there we go.
clock.
Yes,
Oh,
beautiful.
So
nice.
you need to take a,
Does the clock also tell the day?
Oh, look at this. Wow.
Look at this.
Nice.
Very, very nice.
It things the first Tuesday of every month.
Look on the back.
Look at this guy, look at this, guys, look at this, beautiful. Look at this.
Wow.
Signatures.
So if you have not signed the back of the clock for Bruce, this is your last chance to be able to do it.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay, very best of luck to
Thank
you
you.
and your family.
Thank you very much to you and
Okay.
everyone else, thank you.
Very,
That's a
very
terrific
nice.
gift, thank you, thank you very
I
much.
know, medically brilliant.
We are now going to adjourn and have the raffle pull. So do we have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye. Okay, someone's gonna pull a lucky ticket?